Jeez. What to record? Okay. Hi, girls. Good morning. Good morning. Pula. Good evening. Okay. This is our second lesson in April. Okay. For Form 2 Maths. So we were just having a little recap on factors. So I'm going to give you another number now. And let's find all the pairs of factors for this number. So let's have you guys work with 16. Okay, so if I said 16, what are all the factors for 16? So yes, go ahead now and put in chat. So it'll go with a pairing kind of thing. 1, of course, 1 is always a factor, 16. So if you have just 1 and 16 as the factor, and if you just have two numbers like that, that's called a prime number. Remember that, okay? But of course, 16 can also be divided by 2. So 16 is not a prime. And if you divide by 2, the other pair over there is 8. Good. And then 3, no, 16 can't divide by 3 perfectly. Then you go to 4. Yes, 16 can divide by 4. And of course, the number, the pair for it is also 4. So we have these 5 factors for 16. Good. I can see all your answers. Fantastic. Well done. So now, coming to quadratic, okay, especially now that we have learned, we know what is factors. Now I just want to explain to you, or I'm going to give you a question, okay? So remember last week and the week before that we were expanding brackets. So we have like x plus a, for example, okay? And then you expanded it in x, let's say x plus b times x plus b. Now I want you to expand these two brackets and put your answer in the chat. Try this out now. Okay, expand these two brackets and put your answer in the chat. Remember, we do two things in this chapter. We expand and we factorize. That's what we are doing. So now I want you to expand first. Expand these two brackets. Okay? Very good, Gloria. Okay, how about the rest? So I'm going to write the answers that you have given me, huh? Okay, so this is, I'm taking in Gloria's answer here. So Gloria has stated here you'd get x squared. Okay, then she said plus bx. Okay, plus ax and plus ab. Fantastic. Okay, good. Correct. Absolutely correct. Did you all get this? Do you all understand this? X times x is going to give you x squared. X times b, bx. A times ax, ax. And then, of course, a times b, ab. So if you have got to this, good. Do you understand this step, girls? Can I have a thumbs up? Okay, good. Very good. So now I want you to look very carefully to this center equation, to the center part. Bx plus ax. Literally, I can actually take out my x from here and then I can put something plus something, which is just my b plus a. Do you see that? I factor out the x from this. Bx plus ax, I take out the x. I only am left with this b and a. Do you see that? And instead of writing b and a, I just put a plus b. It doesn't make any difference. 1 plus 3 and 3 plus 1 is the same. Okay? So, do you understand this part now that I've done? And over here, I'm going to keep my x squared. I'm not going to do anything. X squared plus x bracket a plus b plus ab. Do you understand this? That's all you need to understand. All right? You see, from the two brackets, we expanded it, we got this. And from this, the only thing I did was I factored out the x. I put it outside in the bracket. I kept my x squared here. I didn't change anything. I also kept my AB. I didn't change anything. The only thing I did was I took out the x and then I put in a bracket. Of course, B plus A. I could definitely write B plus A. But just because A comes before B, I write A plus B. That's all. Okay, B plus A and A plus B is the same. If this is 1 and this is 2, 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1 is the same. Girls, do you understand this so far, what I've done? Can I have a thumbs up if you're following me? Okay, good. So now, look very, very carefully. Over here, you have something called A plus B, and then you have something called AB. This is what you really need to know to understand that the middle term is the total of the two numbers A and B. The last term is a product. Okay, I hope you know what's a product, guys. Product means multiply. Okay, when you multiply A times B, you call it a product. A plus B is called a total, or you can say it's a sum. Do you understand so far? A plus B means you are adding up. AB means you are multiplying. Do you understand that part? Okay. So now I have to clear the drawing a bit. Okay. So please remember what's on the screen. Okay. If I can print screen, it would be great, but never mind. Okay. Let's clear these drawings. And now I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay. Let's say I have this number 15. Okay. I have a number 15. I want you to think of two numbers that if I add them up, I will get 15. And if I multiply it, I will also get 15. Okay, try now. What two numbers that if I add them up, I'll get 15. But if I multiply it as well, I'll also get 15. Tell me two numbers. Put in the chat. Two numbers. Now you got to think a bit. What are two numbers that if I multiply with each other, I get 15? And if I add them up also, I get 15. Can you think? I asked you to think. I didn't ask you for wows. Two numbers. It's like a puzzle here now, you know? Two numbers. That way, and I add them up, it's gonna give me 15. It's not hard. Way, girls. You want to know the trick method? How to do this? Work with your factors. I gave you a clue earlier. Okay, what are the factors for 15? 1, 15. Remember? Okay. What else? 3 and 5. Am I right? So, in these factors, okay, let me see whether I've got the question correct or not, okay? Is there anything else? 5 times 3. But it won't add up. Okay, okay, hold on. Maybe I need to change the question. Okay, hold on, eh? Okay, let's put it this way, okay? All right. Okay. I'm going to give you not 15. Let's start with maybe 12. Okay, 12. Do you think you can do it? Two numbers that add up to it and also multiply, you'll get 12. No. Okay, fine. Hold on, let me find a number for you then. Pala ini. Okay. Let's put... Okay, hold on, Oh, all right. Okay, girls. Okay, I tell you what. Let's go to a question. That will be easier. Okay. So you kind of yes, it won't add up to the same. You don't have to be the same. Okay, I'm sorry about that. We don't have to be, it doesn't have to be the same. Okay, so I'm going to go to a question now and let you see how this works really. Okay. So let's look at a question. Hold on, let me pick up a question. Okay. All right. Let's use this one. Your questions in your textbook are so difficult. No simple question. Okay, let's use this. X squared, okay, x squared minus 13x minus 68. Okay, you have got this question. X squared minus 13x minus 68. All right, this is called a quadratic expression. Now you got to put it as two brackets multiplying each other. Got it? So one term would be x and the other term would also be x. All right. That you know. That's the first term. Now remember, this is a subtraction, okay? So imagine I make it an addition. All right. Okay, let's put it in as an addition question, okay? X plus what times x plus what? When I expand it, I'm going to get this. So this is your A. Remember, just now we did, this is your B. So now you've got to think and tell me, A times B is going to give me my 68. Think of two numbers that will give you 68 when you multiply with each other. At the same time, A plus B, remember just now we did that bracket? A plus B is going to give you 13. So now you got to think in that way. It doesn't have to be the same. Okay? Think of two numbers that when I multiply, I'd get 68. And when I add them up, A plus B, I'm going to get 13. Do you think you can find it? 13 is a prime number, you know? Pretty difficult question on this. Can anyone guess the answer? Oh, I see. It's lagging. 17 and 4. Fantastic. 17 and 4. You have a calculator, kan? So, will 17 times 4? Durgashini noted. Okay, so I will repeat. Okay, 17 times 4, I will get 68. Now, 17 minus 4, I would get 13. Yes or not? The difference. Okay, so which means one has to be a positive number and one has to be a negative number. That's all. Literally earlier the question, okay, if at all you look at the original question, it was a subtraction. Okay, it was a subtraction question. So it was x squared minus 13x minus 68x. So you have got two numbers here, which is 17 and 4. So where would the positive be? And where would the negative be? If you wanted negative 13 as your answer, then negative 17 plus 4 will give you negative 13. Negative 17 times 4 will give you negative 68. This part you must bring in your negative positive numbers knowledge a bit. Got it? So your A, your first one is negative 17. So you write lah. minus 17. And then the other one, the B, is going to be positive 4. Don't worry. At first glance, this may look a little difficult, but as you do it more and more, it will become easy. Okay? So, I think there is this module that I've given you, okay, in your WhatsApp. Okay? Yeah, you already have this module. So, I'm going to open it up, okay, and show you some examples from there. Okay? So, let's see this chapter 2. Okay. Girls, can you see this module on your side? If you haven't printed it out, later you print it out. Print it out, okay? So there was this module. Can you see the screen now? Okay. Do you have this on your side? Expansion and factorization. It was given already. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Okay. This would be important. This would be very useful. Expansion, easy. 4x plus 8. That's what you're going to do here. Okay. So your answer is going to be equals to 4x plus 8. That's how you do page 1. So I'm not going to really delve on expansion. We have already done with this. This is all practice for you. And then you got these double brackets. Page 2 is all these double brackets. You got to expand, including negative numbers. You have done this already. Now, third part, okay, I'll get to this later. Okay, this page, okay, it's a bit blurry as well, so I'll repost again. And the fourth one is here, factorization. Okay. So I'm going to do this page now. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it's clear. I mean, I'll resend this again. It's not so clear. Okay. Let's go to this page 5 and I'll teach you how to do this. Okay. Oh, you do finish already. Yeah, my goodness. Great. Okay. All right. Okay, girls. Now look here. X squared plus 6x plus 9. This is our question. We got to factor it, means put it into 2 brackets. Okay. I hope you remember your A, B and A plus B. Now your 6x here is A plus B. Your 9 is AB. Do you understand? Okay, so now x squared, that will immediately go to the first term. X and x will give you x squared. Do you understand? Now my question to you would be, what are the 2 numbers that when I multiply, okay, when I multiply, I'll get 9. Something times something, I will get 9. And that same number plus with each other, I'll get 6. Okay, very good. So this is easier already, right? So your answer is 3. 3 times 3 will give me 9. 3 plus 3 will give me 6. So your AB, you got your 3 times 3. Your A plus B, you got your 6. So your factors are just 3. So it's plus 3 and another plus 3. Do you understand now? Does it make sense? Okay. Now what happens if you want to check whether this is correct or not, all you need to do is expand back again. Open it up. X squared. Yes. And then x times 3, 3x. X times 3, 3x. So 3x and 3x is 6x. 3 times 3, it's 9. Do you understand now, girls? Can I have a thumbs up if you understood this question? Boleh? All right, let's move on to number 2. X squared plus 7x plus 12. So what we have got to do, put in 2 brackets, girls. Okay? And now put your x first, because x times x is going to be x squared. You know your x. Now you got to figure out what plus what is going to be the center part. Is going to give you 7. At the same time, that same number multiply with each other, the A times B, it's going to give you 12. So you got to think. Doesn't have to be the same numbers. That was a mistake. Sorry, yeah. That was more hard than usual. Okay. Something plus something is going to give you 7. Positive, no negative here. And that same number multiplied by each other going to give you 12. Some answers on the chat. Very good. 4 and 3. Well done. So you're going to have 4 times 3. That will give you 12. And 4 plus 3 is going to give you 7. So your factor is x plus 4. One is 4 and the other one is x plus 3. Do you understand now? This is how factorization can be easily understood and done. But you will get challenging questions. Okay, it can get a little challenging. So do the easy ones first. Okay, let's go to number 3. All right, x squared. Look at this, plus x. Now, what does this x mean? 1x. Remember that. Okay, there's no number, it's just 1. Minus 20. Now you play with the negative. This is where it can get a little tricky. So again, put in your brackets, your 2 brackets. All right. Okay. And since you have x squared in the beginning, this must be x. And the other term must also be x. Then only you're going to get x squared. So now you're going to look at 20 and you're going to look at 1. So something plus something, which is the middle term, must give you 1. And that same number, something, multiplied with another number, which is the same number here, must give you negative 20. What could that be? This requires us to think a bit more deeply. A number times a number going to give me negative 20, guys. So now you got to start here. You got to think of all the factors of 20, all the pairs. So 1 is 1 and 20, correct or not? And then you can have 2 times 10, correct? These are all the factors. Remember we did this? Then I can have also 4 and 5. Okay, I cannot have 6, there's no 7, there's no 8, there's no 9, there's already 10 here. So these are my factors. Okay, so these are my pairs. Remember, they are pairs. Okay, they exist as pairs. So now, which of these pair, all these pairs will multiply and give me 20. I've got all my pairs here. But which pair will add up and give me 1? So you must understand something. Now you play with negative numbers. One of these numbers must be a negative. So let's say it's negative 1 times 20. Just telling you, then my answer will be negative 20. But negative 1 plus 20, it's going to be positive 19. So 1 cannot be a pair. The 1 and 20 cannot be a pair. Got it? Now, I could say negative 2 and 10. So negative 2 times 10, yes, I'll get negative 20. But if I put negative 2 plus 10, I'm going to get 8, not 1. If I do the other way here, negative 10 and positive 2 also, I'm going to get negative 8, which is also not a 1. Do you see that? So 10 is not these are all not factors that we could use. We are left with 4 and 5. As a factor, yes. If you put a negative 4, okay, and times with a positive 5, I could get a negative 20. But a negative 4 plus with a 5, I'm not going to get, oh, yeah, I get a positive 1. Do you see that? So it has to be negative 4 with a positive 5. So 1 has to be negative 4 and 1 has to be a positive 5. Only then, when I add them, I will get a 1, which is the same as this. Remember, the center one is A plus B. Remember the first example when I did? The last term is A times B. The two factors multiply with each other. Do you understand? Should I have a thumbs up for this negative part? Or we will explain. We'll do one more question. Look, we will do many questions. Okay? Let's look at number 4 now. Again, you can see negative and negative coming into play. So you got to be a bit careful. So now think, what are the factors of 16? You can have 1, you can have 16. So 1 times 16, fine. Okay. So you must remember, something plus something must give me negative 6. And that same number times each other, that same factor multiplied by each other must give me negative 16. Okay? So let's say I start with this pair, 1 and 16. I must put negative somewhere. So maybe I'll put negative here. Okay, so 1 times negative 16, yes, I get negative 16. But 1 plus negative 16, I'm not going to get negative 6. So I cannot use this pair. Even if I change the negative and put it over here, I cannot get negative 6. Do you understand? So no point using this pair. Tak guna. Then you go 2 and you have 8. 2 times 8, you get 16. But something has to be negative here. So let's say I put here negative 2. Okay, let's say I put negative 2. Negative 2 times 8, I'll get negative 16. But negative 2 plus 8, if I have negative 2 plus 8, I can't get negative 6. I'll get positive 6. So if I wanted negative 6, it has to be the other way round. It has to be negative 8 and a positive 2. Do you girls understand now? Okay? You got to twist it the other way around. So when I have a positive 2 plus a negative 8, yes, I will get negative 6. And a positive 2 multiplied with a negative 8, yes, I will get negative 16. So your factor for this question is, of course, put in your x times x squared. One factor is going to be positive 2, so it's x plus 2. And the other factor is going to be x minus 8. Girls, done 4 questions, close to 5 earlier. Do you understand now how to factorize easily? Okay, literally quite easily. It's not that difficult. Do you think this is difficult? What do you think? Can I have some feedback? Do you think this is doable? Okay. So now let's try number 5. A bit hard. Okay, fine. Okay, there is a technique. Literally, there is a technique. So the technique is, first of all, remember the center number is a total of the 2 factors. You want to find factors. See, what you're doing, girls, you have to keep in mind, you are going to factor it back into brackets. Yes or not? So, remember earlier we did an example, x. So, x plus a and x plus b. When you opened it up, you got x squared plus, you remember then you had xa and then plus xb and then plus ab. This is what we did in the beginning. Am I right? So now we have x squared plus, I just factor out the x. So you see what's happening is a plus b is the center part. This is what we did. Plus ab. Now what is happening here is you are linking up this pattern. These other 2 factors that you are supposed to find, if you add them up, you will get the center term. If you multiply them, you will get the last term. That's all. So your center term is always the 2 factors add together. Your last term is the 2 factors multiplied together. You understand? So every time you want to solve for factorization, you got to just think of these 2 factors. Something times something is going to give me here positive 10. Got it? And that same number, something plus something is going to give me the center term, which is negative 11. Do you understand now? So you got to create this first. You got to create this, and then you got to work with your knowledge of factors. Go with the factors. Something times something is 10. So what are the factors of 10? Factors of 10, it's 1 and 10. Then you have 2 and 5. That's another pair. Factors always come in pairs. 1 and 10, 2 and 5. Okay? So now the question is, what if I use 2 and 5? Can I add them up and get negative 11? That's the question you got to ask. If I use 1 and 10, can I add them up and get negative 11? Can. Because if I use negative 1 and I have negative 10, negative 1 plus negative 10 is negative 11. You see that? And if I have negative 1, you must use the same factor and a negative 10. Remember your rule of negative. Negative times negative will give you positive word. So negative 1 times negative 10 is positive 10. Correct. So your factor is a negative 1 and a negative 10. So after that, you draw two brackets. You put in your x squared first. So x squared means the first factor is already x and x. Your A and your B, one A is going to be negative 1. The other B is going to be negative 10. That's the process. That's the whole procedure. So step 1 is doing this. Step 2 is figuring out which pair will work out. Step 3 is writing it out properly. Do you understand now? Okay, guys, I talked so much already. Now you do number 6. Okay? This is what I want you all to do. Do number 6 now. Try it on a piece of paper. Something times something must give me 18. Okay, you want to put there positive means you just put there positive because here got negative. And then something, that same number plus something must give me negative 9. You see the center term, negative 9. Now, where you must start? You must start with the factor, the 18. Why? Because something times something is going to give you 18. You can figure out. 18, the pair will be 1. Okay? You understand now the pairing? So what are the factors for 18? I hope you're doing on your side. I give you some time. Put your answers in chat. 1, 18. I have 2, 9. Will be another pair. Any other pair? You'll have 3 and 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. These are your pairs for 18. Pairs means 1 and 9. 1 and 18 is a pair. 2 and 9 is a pair. 3 and 6 is a pair. You got to use this. And ask yourself, which number, all these numbers when you multiply, you're going to get 18. Okay, but which number plus which number can end up with negative 9? So if I wanted negative 9, 2 plus 9 is going to give me 11. 9 minus 2 is going to give me 7. 18 and 1 also won't get me to 9. But 3 plus 6 will get me to 9. Yes or not? If it's a positive, it's very easy. But if it's a negative 9, that means this must be negative 3 and this must be negative 6. Then negative 3 plus negative 6 is going to give me negative 9. And negative 3 times with negative 6 will give me positive 18. Do you understand now? Okay, so now we have two brackets. One would be negative 3 and the other would be negative 6. Of course, your x is here. Can you see? I think that they are pretty interesting. Very good. Very, very good. You've got it. Okay? If you can really understand, it's kind of beautiful. That's how you got to look at it. It's really beautiful because there is a method. You find the factors. Then you figure out which fella will be the right pair. That's what you got to do. You understand? Find the factors. That's why I started the lesson with factors. Okay, let's go and see this fella, number 7 here. All right. Obviously, something times something must give me 25. I'm sorry, negative 25. But what happened to the center term? That's the question. What happened to the center term here? Something plus something. What happened? What do you think happened here? Oh, make a guess. What number has a value but got no value? Hey, that's a quiz, huh? What number has a value but doesn't have a real value? Well, no, one is one. I can count with one sweet. It has a quantity value. What has a place value but doesn't have a quantity value? Very good. Zero. Zero is an important placeholder. 707. You cannot simply eliminate the zero because it will change it and we kick it 77, which is completely different. So zero is a placeholder, but the quantity is zero. The value is zero, but it holds a place. There's a value to zero. So over here, whatever number added with whatever factor ended up with zero. That's why it is not written. Do you understand now? Okay. So now you're going to work with 25. Start 1 and 25. That are the factors, 1 and 25. The next factor would be 5 and 5 lah. 5 and 5 will give you 25. So it's 1, 5, 25. So 5 times 5, I get 25. So 1 has to be both cannot be positive because positive 5 times positive 5 means I'll get positive 25. All right, remember that, huh? But both cannot also be negative because negative 5 times negative 5 will give me positive 25. So one fella has to be positive, one fella has to be negative. Do you see that now? One fella has to be positive 5, the other fella has to be negative 5. Now, if I have negative 5 and the other one is positive 5, when I add, will I get a 0? Negative 5 plus 5. Yes. Perfectly, it eliminates with each other. Do you see that now? So, here, the bracket goes like 1 is negative 5 and the other is positive 5. It eliminates each other. That's why you don't have the center term. Do you understand now? Wait. Where did you get 9x from now? Oh, number 9. Sorry. Okay. I got scared. Okay. All right. Negative 5 times 5. Very good. Okay, good. Fantastic. Do you get it now? Okay. All right. Same story for number 8. Same thing. You see, it's a bit weird because you don't have the x term there. So it is not there. Literally, you got to ask yourself, what times what? I'm going to give negative 49. Very good, very good. Pandai already. But that same term plus with each other ends up with 0 because I don't have a value there for x. So 49, and cannot be the same sign because the same sign means you're going to have a positive number. So it has to be a different sign. And you know the factor for 49, 7 and 7. So one has to be a positive 7 and the other one has to be a negative 7. Understand? Or, girls, you can even say, hey, I want to write the negative first. No problem. Negative 7 can, positive 7. It doesn't matter. The order doesn't matter. Okay? So then negative 7 plus 7 is 0. Even if you put positive 7 plus negative 7 is 0. So yes, the factors would be x minus 7. And then the other factor is x plus 7. Do you understand now? And literally, if you looked at it, the earlier question, x minus 5 times with x plus 5. It's like there is a pattern here. One is minus, one is plus with the same number. One is minus, one is plus with the same number. Do you see that? Do you girls, are you able to see that pattern there? That it's literally the same number, but one is addition, one is subtraction. Okay? Good. Now, we erase everything, clear the drawing, and let's see what's on the next page. Okay, again, I think this part we have done already, the same question here, right? Okay, let's do number 3. Same type of question, girls. Try and see. Same type of question. You got to figure out. It's the same number here that's going to be in play. So X, put your answers in chat if you can figure this out. One would be a plus and one's going to minus, and we're going to use the same number. Very good. X plus 8, x minus 8. Now tell me, quadratic, difficult? Is this difficult? No, right? Can, isn't it? So you get x squared minus 8x plus 8x. That's where you get your 0, minus 64. You see this? This little pattern is important. Okay? How about 1 to 1? X squared minus 1 to 1. Very good. Fatin, you already got the trick already there. X minus 11, because 1 to 1 is 11 times 11. And the other one is going to be x plus 11. You're going to be correct. X squared plus 11x minus 11x. That's why you get your 0 and minus 1 to 1. If you notice, all these middle numbers is a negative. It's a minus. You see that now? Okay, and now this is what I called a bit of a challenging question. Okay, over here, all right, no more just XX babies. It's gonna go up, upgrade a little bit, okay, to the 4x squared. Huh. So how can we get 4x squared? Anybody got any idea? How to get 4x? Last time x squared was so easy. But now if I have 4x squared, then how? Think of the factors of 4. What are the factors of 4? 1, 4, and 2. Am I right? So 1 times 4, you can have 1 and 4. But to be really on the safe side, you know this is the same pattern as the earlier question. You are going to get a 3 here, and you're going to put another 3 here, and one is going to be a positive 3, and one's going to be a negative 3. Your only problem is figuring out what x is going to be. Just leave it as 2x on one side and 2x on another side. Why? Now you must expand. You must expand it again. Okay? You see, 2x times 2x, I will get 2 times 2 is 4, girls. X squared. So, got it back. 2x times 3, it's minus 6x. Can you see? 3 times 2x is plus 6x. 3 times negative 3 is minus 9. So this is where this fella in the center disappears. Negative 6x plus 6x is 0. Ending you with 4x squared minus 9. So you expand, you get this. You factorize, you get this. You expand, you get this. You factorize. I told you in the beginning, this is like a rotation, like a circle. Expand, factorize. Expand, factorize. You see that? Do you find this good now? Can do? Now, if you use 1 and 4, you won't get this. If you want to try, we can. If you use 1x and 4x, then you're going to change. Okay? It will not get you to 4x minus 9. Or 4x squared minus 9 won't come out. The factor that would be best to use would be 2. Again, maths is not about my perception or idea. It's about proving us right or wrong. So let's say I used 1 and 4. I used 1x and 4x. Teacher, how is it going to be wrong? Show it to me. I will. Okay, so you put your bracket. You know one is -3 and the other one is +3. That's for sure. So you're going to say that, hey, I want to use 1x and I want to use my other term as 4x. Okay, I will still get 1x times 4x. I will get 4x squared. Fulfills this. Okay, let's do the center part. 1x times 3. So it's positive 3x. Negative 3 times 4x. So it's negative 12x. And then negative 3 times positive 3, it's minus 9. Now what happens? You rewrite it. 4x squared, 3x minus 12x. That gives you negative 9x. Okay? Go back and then minus 9. So you see your x didn't disappear. Your x didn't disappear. You have an extra minus 9x which is not in your question. And that's because you used the wrong or the different factors. If you use these factors, this is how your expanded equation looks like. Do you now agree? Do you understand how the factors are so important? Okay? So girls, that's about what we have in today's lesson, factoring. Okay? Factorization. Now, I'm going to actually go to the module for today. So hold on. Let me show you. Stop sharing. Okay, today's module, girls, is actually here. I already shared it. So after this, you can do it. Okay? Where is the module? Okay. All right. Is this our first question? Yeah. There are 4 pages. Okay. 4 pages from this module. Okay. So it starts with this. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. I want to see whether I can make it bigger. Hold on. I've got to share the PDF instead. 1 minute, girls. Okay. One minute. Where's the PDF? Okay. All right. Hope you can see the screen now being shared. Do you see it, girls? Can you see it? Now, this is what you got to do for today. I mean, later after class, we have learned already how to factorize. So how are we going to work on this? Factorize the following. A squared. Now, instead of x, now it's just a and b, okay? All right. So a squared minus 9b squared. Would you like to try? Can you give it a try? Okay, all of you, try on your side. Okay, try it. So remember, there's no center term here, girls. Okay, all right. There's no AB here. So this is your A and this is your A. So A times A is going to give me my A squared, darlings. Okay. Now, something times with something is going to give me my, okay, yeah, I can see. My 9b squared. Do you understand? Okay. Something times something is going to be my 9b squared. But that same something plus that same something is going to end up with 0 because I don't see my center term. So what could be the factor for 9b squared? What times what could be 9b squared? But it adds up and it cancels off each other. So remember, just go with the 9 first. So if I have negative 3 and a positive 3, oh, sorry, this is a negative 9, huh? Okay, I'm going to get my negative 9. But if I put a b extra there, then I'm going to get b squared. Do you see that? All I need to do is just put a b extra, and I'm going to get my b squared. And this negative 3b, if I put negative 3b plus 3b, it's going to give me 0. Negative 3b and positive 3b, when I multiply, it's going to give me negative b, 9b squared. So yes, one is a negative 3b and the other one is a positive 3b. So well done, Natasha. Okay, I see Natasha's answer only lah. I didn't see the rest of the answer. Natasha. Okay, Gloria, the 9 is correct. The factor is 3, but don't forget we have a b squared there. Okay, so b times b is where you get the b squared. A bit more. Sometimes this is why I don't like your activity books, because literally it takes you all to this level of questions very fast. The questions that I gave you earlier, that were from a completely different resource. It builds up slowly. You do la medium level question, then only you go and do hard type. Understand? Okay. All right. Let's try this now. Same concept. Okay. Same as this. Okay. 25. Instead of A, you know 25 is what? What can make 25? And what can make 64? You kind of know that as well. So your A, your x squared is now 25. 25 is surely 5 and 5. You understand? So you got already one part of it done. Now, again, this must be plus something and minus something with the same number. And you have got 64 and you still have p squared. So 64, you can use 8 nicely. So you're going to put the 8 plus 8 and a minus 8. And you're going to put the p together in every 8 because p squared will come in. Do you see that? Very good. Pandai, Gloria. Do you understand now? Okay. 5 and 5 is the 25. Okay, remember this pattern of questions we did earlier where the center is eliminated. So if you don't want to believe me, we expand. 5 times negative, okay, this one is 25. I expand, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times negative 8p, it's negative 40p. 8p times 5 is positive 40p. And then positive 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. P times p, it's p squared. So what happens? This fella becomes 0 in the center. You're left with 25 minus 64 p squared, which is your question. Got it. Do you see that now? Clear? Girls, do you understand now what's happening? Can I have a thumbs up? Faham ke? You guys, I really have to pay attention lah. I'm sorry. Okay? All right. I really hope you do. Let's go do this. All right. Try and see. I give you some time. Try this fella out and see how to factorize this one. Got no squared, nothing. 6a plus 12b. Let's factorize this fella. Factorize out a number. For example, I factorize 6 out. And then I take 6 out from the bracket. I can put this a plus 2b. So when I put in the 6, this will become 6a plus 12b. Do you understand now? You just take out the 6 from it. And when you put back in, it becomes 6a plus 12b. Okay? Now, how are you going to factorize this? How are we going to factorize this? Which question are you doing, Gloria? Oh, this one is it? Oh, okay. Well, my dear girl, you actually expanded the equation. You put in the 3. When you put in the 3 and you put in the x, darling, we are not factoring. We are expanding. You understand? They want you to factor. Okay, so what you got to do is, look, a plus b, a plus b. So just like how you took out the 6 earlier, you take out the a plus b from here. So you take out a plus b. If you take out a plus b, what happens? You are left with, this would be 3. Can you see? And then plus with, you take out the a plus b, you take out the a plus b, you're left with 3 plus x. Do you see that? So a plus b, you can multiply with 3. A plus b, you multiply with x. That's what it looks up here. Can you see or not? A plus b is multiplied with 3. A plus b is again multiplied with x. So when I take out, I factorize, I take out my a plus b. So this is how it looks like. Well, I hope you watch the recording again and at least, revise again when you're doing the module on your own. Okay? All right, let's see now. Girls, it's 9:44, man. All right, okay, let's go now and look here. Find the common factors. Now, you know what's a common factor, girls? Common factor means it exists in both. So you see here, there is P. P exists here, P exists here. Literally, I can divide P, I can divide P, I can take the P out. I also know that 3 is a factor for 9, 3 is a factor for 12. So I can take out 3P from this whole thing. Now what happens is, I got to put a bracket now and ask myself, 3P times what gives me 9P? So 3P will times with 3. Just like taking 9 and dividing by 3. Follow your symbol. Now, if you took out 3, you're going to have 4 here because 3 times 4 only will give you 12. And then you took out P also. So what you are left is, you're only left with Q. Do you understand? You're factoring now. So you take out the common factor, which is 3P. Do you understand? All right, let's go and do more questions. There's 18MN and 2NR. Obviously, I will take out my 2, I'll take out the N. It's common, N and N. Okay, 2 and 18 can be factored out. How? So, I'll take out 2N. What I will do is I'll take out 2N. I'll put my 2N outside the bracket and ask myself, 2 times how much will give me 18? And that would be 9. And I already have the N outside here. So I'm only left with M inside. Do you understand? And then follow. This is addition. This is also addition. I already have 2. I've taken out my 2. I've taken out my N. So I'm left with just the R. That's it. This is how I factor. Very good. 9M plus R. Well done. Fantastic. Okay, question gets a bit more complicated here. Okay, complicated, gets a bit more difficult. All right, but don't worry, we are factoring out the common terms. Remember, we are factoring out the common factor. All right, there is 16. There is 40. There is 25. You want to think of a number that can go with all, I think it's going to be a little difficult. Okay? Do you think there's a number that can come out from all 16, 40, and 25? 40 and 25, I can take out 5. But 16 cannot. Yes or not? So I don't think I'm going to work with numbers. I'm going to work with the P. Can you see? Sorry, the Q. Every term has a Q there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the q first and see how it looks like. So now if I take out q from q squared, I'm going to have here still 16q. Do you see that? Plus, if I take out q, I'm going to only have here 40p. And if I take out q squared, I'm going to have here plus 25q. Do you understand? The only common factor here is q. I cannot take out 8 because 25 is not in multiples of 8. It can go for 16 and 40. So I cannot find a common factor for all three. Can you? So I only can find a common factor, which is q. All right. Let's do the next question. I have k, I have k, I have k. Can you see the pattern now? I take out my k. So I put my bracket. I have m. What is left is m plus n. I think hopefully you can give me your answers in the chat before I finish it up. Minus p. Do you see that? Okay. K, you take out the k. You factor out the k. And the rest, you leave it inside. That's factoring. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, common factor. One is x, one is y, one is z. How to take out? Cannot take out anything. One is 8, one is 2, and one is 16. I can take out now. I can take out a 2 at least. Yes or not? So I'll take out a 2. I'll put a bracket. Now ask, okay, come on, girls. You tell me in chat. If I take out 2, what's going to be what I'm going to write inside the bracket now? So 2 will have to multiply inside, and this will have to be 4x. And this will just have to be y. And this will have to be 8z. Do you see that? Can you see? I only factor out the 2. Sometimes I can factor out a alphabet, an unknown. Sometimes I can only factor out a number. Okay, all of you, please do number F now. I want to see your answer for number F. What can you take out from here? What can you factor out from F? Give it a try. Try and see. Put in your answers. You could take out a 2. Okay, and you're going to end up with negative S minus 2R. Okay, you could do that. What if I factor out a negative 2? What would then the other side of the bracket look like? Very good. You're going to have an S, and then you're going to have very good plus with a 2R. Fantastic. Why? Because this times this is okay, negative 2S. All right? Okay? But negative 2 times positive 2, that gives you a negative 4R. You understand? So if you took out negative 2, this is how it will be looking like. Okay? Good. Well done. Good, good, good. Now let's move on. So over here, girls, okay, it's not that difficult. Okay? Factorize each equation or each following expression by using the common factor method. Again, it's not complicated here. It's just that they're asking you to open your eyes and look for something that is common. Something that is common in this. What is common? I have C, D, I have C, E, I have B, D, I have B, E. Is this E or C? Okay, I myself cannot see. Hold on. Yes, we can still do. Yes, Durgashini, we can take out just the 2 and still leave it. It's still factoring a number. Okay? Hold on, girls. I need to check again. Hold on, let me check. What's the question? Number 7. Yeah, it's CD. Okay. Hold on. I'm getting so blind already now. Yeah, it's CD. Okay, it's 6 CD, 2 CE, all right, 3 BD and BE. So you see, girls, I can look at C and C from here to be factored out. So I could factor out C, and then I can say this is 6D minus 2E. Okay, I could factor out the C from here. Then treat these separately. Hold on. Minus, I take out the B from here. So I take out my negative B, looking like I'm taking out positive B or negative B. Now mind, I take out negative B. So if I take out negative B, then this would be 3, positive 3D. And then this would be positive, oh no, negative, sorry, negative E. Do you see that? I took out my C. So this became C in bracket. Then after that, 6D minus 2E. So when I put in my C, I'm going to get this. And this side, I took out my negative B. When I took out negative B, okay, this fella will become positive 3D. And then negative times negative only, I'll get positive. I must think, when I expand back the bracket, it will become a positive. So I took out my B, so we are left with E. Can. You see that? So this is how it looks like when you take out one part and another part. Now you have like two parts. Okay, this is UH. Okay, in case you can't read it, it's UH, everything is UK. This is TH and TK. Same thing. So I take out my U, and then I'm going to have here H plus K. Can you see that? So I take out the U, and then I'm going to take out T from here. So I'm going to minus T. So remember, it's a negative T. So if I took out the negative T over here in my bracket, it's going to be H. And then this is going to be a positive, because negative times positive, then only I can get negative. And this is going to be K. Now you can see another pattern here. I can factor out my H plus K and H plus K. Can you see that? This is another thing that can be factored out. So what's going to happen? I'm going to put H plus K out. Take out the H plus K. And then what is going to left with? U minus T. Can you see that? I think this also will work out to be that. Okay, let's try this again, girls. Okay, I may have missed this. Let's see. So I'm going to take out my C here. In fact, I can take out a 2C. I can take out a 2C from here. I'm going to be left with 6. No, not 6. 3D. 3D minus E. Okay, I'm going to write it again. Hold on. I'm going to take out my 2C, darlings. Okay, take out 2C from 6CD. So that's going to be now leaving in 3D and then minus E. Can you see that? Minus, take out my D. Is it D? Take out the B. Take out the B and you're left with 3D minus E. Am I right? Now, do you see? I also forgot just now earlier. 3D minus E, 3D minus E. This fella can be factored out. So now I will take out the 3D minus E, and then put in what's left, which is 2C minus B. Play around with factors. I know this can be a little challenging already. Okay? All right? But do you understand? Kind of. Okay? Boleh ke? Can ah? Can you see a double factoring here that's happening? What's happening here is, first you're factoring out the U, you're factoring out the T. Then you can see then you are left with something H and K, H plus K. When you have something similar, you can factor it out. So you're left with the U minus T as another bracket. Same thing here, you took out the 2C from 6CD minus 2E, so you're left with 3D minus E from this part. And then you took out the B, and again you're left with 3D minus E. So the 3D minus E is something that is in both, that can be factored out. And you're left with 2C minus B. Do you see that? Okay lah. It's a double level factoring. Okay? Alright, common factor, taking out and taking out again. Alright, clear this up? Well, I've got to go rush a bit now. I'm going to leave you guys, girls, to actually try this, try it, okay? You look carefully, girls. 1 plus 2y is already there. 1 plus 2y is already there. So take this fella out and see what's left. Can you do that? Can you see 2s minus 1? Take this fella out. 2s minus 1. Take this fella out. So you're left with whatever that's left. That earlier question was a bit more difficult, huh? Okay? All right. So let's go down and look at this page. Factorize for using the formula, girls. So now you have got to think about using the formula. All right. Try to do this method, the one that has been taught earlier. Okay? Or try the other method that was given, that was earlier you did just before this. So I'm going to leave you to explore these questions because next week we'll continue. Remind me, we'll continue here. Can you do that? Try it first on your own. Okay, this module. So there's about, then you got this. So please try this module out. If you can do this, you got your band 4 for your maths lah, for this chapter. Okay. This is all word problems already. And this one, you can use the darab silang or the cross multiplication. Just now, remember, find the factors for 68 and two numbers that add up to 13, or the middle number. All right, try that. So this is what you're going to do over the next week before I see you next week. Okay, so then we will finish this module and also this last part of this chapter. So next week we can finish this chapter. All right, so this is all for today. I hope you girls are better off today, a little bit more in understanding factorization. Can I have a thumbs up? Any questions so far? Do you understand? Gloria, Natasha, Durga, and Fatih?